Yes, that's the theme song from Ghostbusters. And today we're going to continue working with theme and really look at how changes or odd behaviors in characters can teach the reader about theme. All right, should have had you work with plot and theme to this point, and you know that the conflict, the climax explodes, we get a change. A lot of times the change in the character will kind of result because of that climax, because of the explosion of conflict. Sometimes it'll be changes from like the very beginning to the middle of the story too. So you really have to look at changes or odd behaviors in characters or situations. And so what we get to is something called reading signposts, contrast, and contradictions. And again, this helps us with reading literature. 8.2, determining the theme or central idea of the text over the relationship of the text. We will work with this on our benchmarks. We got to learn this. So let's get into it. So theme, who learns the lesson? The protagonist, the reader learns it, usually through the protagonist, because that character has the ability to change or evolve. So let me get into this. What's that tell you to do? How about that? How about that? All right, these are signposts. You know what to do on the road or on your bicycle when you come across them. We're going to start a little series called Reading Signposts. And anytime we see something in a story that resembles a signpost, and I'll get to a specific signpost in a minute, it's not going to be stop or one way or go. You'll know to stop and think about something which will key into either conflicts, the plot, the characters, the theme. Today we're going to work with contrast and contradictions. So I think you can see me in my little corner down here. All right. Signpost number one. Contrast, contradictions. So yes, right now I want you to be doing this. Contrast and contradictions. Remember, it's going to be the opposite. Worlds are colliding. Here's all that really means. So if you see something that's different than what's been happening or what you would expect, you stop and notice a note. You're reading a character says or does something that's opposite what he has been saying or doing to that point or what we'd expect. Ask yourself, why is the character doing that? The answer will help you make inferences and predictions about plot, the conflict, and relate to the theme. Think about the black cat. The beginning, the narrator's nice. He loves his pets. Then he turns on them. That's a contrast and contradiction. We've learned something that he's changed a little bit. What caused the change? His enjoying of adult beverages. Does that tie into the theme a little bit? It can, for sure. Even at the end, there's been a little bit of a change. It's not just verbally abusing his wife. He kills her, and then he puts her in the wall. At this point, he's kind of just been going about his business. He hasn't really been too obnoxious. Well, he's been obnoxious, but I wouldn't say egomaniacal. But as the cops are ready to leave, he changes. Contrast, contradiction. Gentlemen, these walls are finally built. Why are you leaving so fast? And all of a sudden, he gets snailed. So, again, that too could turn into a life lesson of don't be so cocky or arrogant. There's a couple within that. So you really want to stop, notice, and note what is different. After you watch this, we will kind of work with this a little bit. And so, contrast, contradiction. Character's done something opposite of what you expect or what's been done to that point. Wardy is going to take a break. You thought I was going to say, Wardy out!